Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rekakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Yakim that is pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth and our truth, sincerity, and diligence. Shalom. All right, I got this article from Hero Zero Hedge, and let me just go a little bit into it. It says, this is the title, it says, Israel-Hamas war latest. Israeli troops amass at border as Iran warns it will intervene if ground offenses launch. Now, if you know anything about, Iran, Iran, has a strong hatred towards, the Israelis, you see, and Iran is, backed by Russia, you see, because I even looked up the ties between Iran and Russia. It says Iran and Russia burgeoning military ties. This is September the 5th, right? It says 2023. It says military cooperation between Iran and Russia has greatened from, I don't even know. It says Grayton. I'm saying that, not even Grayton. It's Salaki. I don't know how to pronounce that word. From virtually nothing after the 1979 revolution to a strategic partnership bolstered by important arms transfer by 2023. Overall, Moscow accounted for about a third of Tehran's, which is the capital of Iran, arms during imports during the 4 decades after the revolution. According to data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, and the Islamic Republic was exporting Iranians arms to Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. The two countries has forged a full-scale defense partnership by mid-2023, according to John Kirby of the National Security Council. Okay, so look, check it out. It also says when you drop down, it says Moscow arms transfers to Tehran totaled less than $1 million in 1979. Tensions between the two nations escalated when Russia arms aided and supported Iraq during the 8th-year war with Iran in 1980s. Ties improved after the war ended in 1988 as Tehran began buying Russian warplanes as for its decimated air force. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Iran became dependent on Russia for advanced weapons that it could not produce at home and could no longer acquire from the West. By 1991, Russian arms transferred to Iran, including bombers, tanks, submarines, hit an unprecedented $772 million. And I also believe in 1991, that's whenever Ukraine became gained its independence from Russia. You see, so Iran and Russia has been, locked in with each other. Okay, they've developed a partnership, military partnership. Okay, a full-scale defense partnership. So, Iran is backed by Russia, big time. Okay? So let's read a little bit of this article. This is the summary of the article. It says, after giving the northern Gaza Strip an evacuation ultimatum on Friday, Israel has so far withheld from launching a significant ground operation, with some speculating that requests from the U.S. to evacuate all U.S. citizens out of Palestine ahead of the invasion is what is holding Israel back. So it was an evacuation order put out, and I also have the article of that. Let's check it out. And this came out October the 14th. Israel warns of new phase in war on Hamas as Gaza civilians flee and Israeli troops gather near border. Now, listen, I'm going to just get straight to the point. All right. It says right here in this article, it says Israel also cut off the general population. Hey, I'm doing something, brother. I'm doing something. I need you to step back for a second while I finish what I'm doing. It says the order to evacuate 1.1 million people from northern Gaza defies the rules of war and basic humanity. You know, it's like, damn, like how can you evacuate this many people? You know, like that's kind of steep there. Okay, wrote Martin Griffiths, head of United Nations Office of Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, in a statement late Friday. Roads and homes have been reduced to rubble. There's nowhere safe to go. And this is ultimately the day of the Lord. This is the Lord shaking up, the earth, man. This is the Lord shaking, things up in the planet, man, because, on the notable day of his return, man, is at hand. Okay? So let's go back to this article. So it says right here. It says, meanwhile, right there. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister on Saturday said, if Israeli war crimes and genocide are not stopped, the war might expand to other parts of the Middle East. If Hezbollah joins the battle, and that would make Israel suffer a huge earthquake. All right, it says it's gonna make Israel suffer a huge earthquake. So, it's basically saying like, hey, man, things are not gonna be good, if, this continues. All right, that huge earthquake going into what, man? There's gonna be, missile play here. Okay. You see, because it says this war shall be fought with what? Burning and fuel of fire. In the book of Isaiah. It says, meanwhile, Axios reported that Tehran has sent Jerusalem a message through the UN that it will intervene, right? Tehran, let's look it up. Capital city of Iran. It says, Tehran has sent Jerusalem a message. So this is the message through the UN that it will intervene if the campaign in Gaza continues, and particularly if it launches a ground offense. Okay? So if you don't stop, you don't stop, man. If this don't stop, then we gonna get involved, And when Iran get involved, who's gonna get involved? Russia, okay? Russia is gonna get involved and that's biblical prophecy, okay? Ezekiel 38. This is Ezekiel 38. And 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So we prophesying against, Russia. Even though the Lord is going to use Russia, to destroy, America, okay? He's going to use Russia to fall upon the land of Israel, too. All right, they still Edomites, man. So we still prophesying against them. And, the Russians and the Americans, they still, they still Edomites, right? They're still Edomite nations. But like what the Lord said in Isaiah 19 and 2, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Right? These Edomites, they're the modern day Egyptians. You Edomites are biblically known. Well, you so-called white people are biblically known as the Edomites. All right. But, today you represent, the modern day Egyptians because we were in captivity, under the Egyptians. America is known as, Egypt today, man. All right. But you white people, you are given dominion. This is your dominion right now. Okay. You rule the earth. Right. It says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And we're seeing that. We're seeing the prophecy of that play out. Okay? It says, right, Salaki. Going back to Ezekiel 38, it says, and say, thus says the Lord, Yahweh, verse 3, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, chief of prince. I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And and the Lord is against these Russians, man. He's just using them, right? The Lord is the ultimate chess player. Verse 4, I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, right? And when he says, I will turn thee back, meaning turning Russia back to that old Cold War spirit. And that's what, and we see that happening because, Russia not playing with America. Putin's like Putin blatantly saying out his mouth, man, Russia is to blame. I mean, America is to blame. The West is to blame for all this that's going on right now. Okay? So it says, I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, turn Russia back to that old Cold War Soviet Union spirit, back with the USSR. Okay? And I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Meaning that, hey, this is a time of war, right? Go and proclaim among the Gentiles, I'm going to misquote it. Joel 3. It says, verse 9, it says, proclaim this among the Gentiles, prepare war, and wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I'm strong. And that's what's really going on with Iran here, man. Iran is saying what, man? Fuck the U.S., man. All right, death to America. That's what they're saying, man. Brought out a clip where, that's what Iran was saying, chanting, death to America. All right. It's going back to verse 4 back in Ezekiel 38. All right, you're going to have China in the mix of all of this because it also says in 2 Ezra 16th chapter, it says, woe unto Asia, too. So China going to be involved in all of this, man, too. China is a superpower of the world. Okay? Verse 5. Persia, right? And that's what I was getting to. Persia. Persia would be what? Iran. Okay? Iran was called Persia before 1935. Okay? So it's basically letting you know in future prophecy, man, during this Third World War, Iran is going to be in with Russia. Russia is going to back Iran. Ethiopia and Libya, these African nations, right? These African nations is cleaving to Russia. With them, all them with shields and helmets, meaning that they all going to come together, right, in this Third World War, right? They all going to be rocking with Russia. Gomer, Turkey, right? And all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be a guard unto them. So Russia is going to be the big brother to all these other nations, man, that's going to cleave unto them, especially Iran. So, if Iran get involved, Russia going to get involved because Russia is that guard unto them, right? And, America is going to get involved, And that's how it is, man. That's what prophecy is speaking. You see? Let's go back to, because I had another article. Check this article out right here. It's pretty lengthy. It says, Biden administration has given a full green light to Israel's war crimes. Right? So you got Iran saying, if this continues in Gaza, then we're gonna get involved, man. We're gonna intervene. All right. And Biden said what? Hey, man, you have every right to do what you have to do for yourself, Israel. So Biden administration could restrain Israel from carrying out a possible genocide plan in Gaza. Instead, it's egging them on. Okay? Because we in a time of war. So we know we at the end here, man. But what? We know that the end is not yet, man, which is quoted in the book of Matthew. Okay? We hear wars and rumors of war, but it's just an update on it, man. It says, the wake of the devastating attack of Israel by Hamas last Saturday, it was inevitable that Israel will respond with brutal force. Hamas surely knew that when they launched the attack, and it remained to be seen how prepared they or other armed groups in Gaza are to deal with what is still to come. What we've seen already has been horrifying, and it is surely only the beginning in Gaza. The feeling in Israel after Hamas raids into Israel is similar to what was felt in the United States after the attack of September the 11th, 2021. In both cases, the unimaginable and shocking nature of massive war crimes that were committed led to rage, bloodlust, and widespread demand for vengeance. In 2001, there was no one who could have possibly restrained the United States. But the United States could today restrain Israel. It is not realistic to expect the United States to even try to stop Israel from attacking Gaza. But the idea of restraining Israel from the sort of all-out blood and indiscriminate attacks, unprecedented even by the already led criminal standards of Israel's history of attacking Gaza is hardly outlandish. Okay, and I seen Elder Yashawama put a post up earlier, basically going into like Hamas is a small group, right? So is it profitable but to bomb the whole damn place for a small group? All right. And he put the analogy, if the Crips and Bloods was to pull out an attack on, Israel, you see, so we're gonna bomb the whole Los Angeles, you see? So you notice this thing is, like the Lord is orchestrating it, but we know that, they're pushing for this third world war, man. All right. Because, it's a new, people, well, I'm going to say this, they at least feel like they're going to, be prosperous in their plan, man. They're at least behind the scenes calling all the shots. But we know chiefly is up to the Lord, okay? But the U.S. President Joe Biden has made a clear decision to go entirely the opposite direction, even as Israeli tanks and ground troops drove into Gaza strips. There was no American effort to even temper, much less stop this Israeli onslaught, even after Israel ordered half of Gaza's population to move from the north to the south of the strip, which United Nations immediately stated was impossible and demand Israel rescind the order. All White House spokesman John Kirby could say is it's a tall order. The green light from Washington was clear as day. You see what I'm saying? So this thing is finna get ugly, man. This thing is finna get real ugly, bro. All right, but we know that it's the MOTB must come out first, okay? But like it says, man, it's gonna be what? Persia, right? Iran, right? And the least of the flock is surely drawing out the militaries of the earth, man. Because China, it was an article that came out that China said that Israel is going too far, man. And Israel is backed by the United States, man. You see. So this thing is about to get ramped up. This thing is about to get amped up. All right. So let me see something. It was something else on this article here. It says, look at this. Gaza City evacuation area and ropes. Salaki. I'm going to read this. It says, this was followed by the news Sunday morning that the U.S. has been back-channeling with Iran in recent days to warn against escalating the conflict in Israel. After all, Biden can't afford to lose those sanctions Iranian oil exports whose re-embargo would promptly send the price of oil above 100. So the thing is, truly and really, when you got war on the planet Earth, man, resources become slim and scarce, you see, because it will be a famine, man. All right? When things get ugly, gas prices are going to go up. You know what I'm saying? Food will be scarce. It's going to be all out anarchy on the planet Earth. You're going to have, clash of, it's going to be like a civil war, okay? It was another article. Check this out. No, that wasn't. It was another one in Fox News, right? Fox News. Let's see. Right here, bam. It says House GOP members introduce bill to block Palestinians refuge from entering the USA. All right, so then that's what you got. You got some of these so-called Palestinians you got here in America, man. That claim to be Muslims. You see. So what that's gonna do, man? That's gonna bring uproars of the people, man. All right. Because they feel like, hey, man, why you blocking our brothers from refuge? But you can let all these migrants, these immigrants come into the United States of America, man. But you put in a bill, to block, our Muslim brothers. Matthew 24. Look, it says, where is that? Offended, train one another. Oh wait, no. Maybe let's see. Uproars. All right, check it out. This is 2 Ezra 9:3. It says, therefore, when there shall it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes. They just had a massive earthquake in Afghanistan, and uproars of the people in the world, which you see uproars in the people, all right, complaining about the West. You see, Salaki for this train. You know what I'm saying? But uproars in the people. You're gonna have uproars here in America, right? Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay? So you're going to have sedition among men. Okay? Like it spoke about in, it was 2 Ezra 15 and, let me get it. 2 Ezra 15 and 16, it says, I'm going to start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. Let's read that in the GNT, man. 2 Ezra 15, and it says, verse 14, it says, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil, like now, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. You see? And that's what's going on. This is what we're seeing happening right now. You're going to have civil war. You're going to have race wars. All right? You're going to have religious wars, man. Okay? There will no longer be free access to the cities because of the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. You see? And that's what's, that's plain. Because like I said, during a time of war, you have famines to where people, you can't really have access to food like that. Okay? And terrible sufferings, people will assault their neighbors, all right, for the lack of food, for the lack of bread, right? See, verse 19, it says, driven by famine, terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions for the lack of bread, man. All right, so what's going on in the Middle East, will affect the world, man. So yeah, this thing is getting real greasy out here, man. Like, and I'm starting to see like everybody want to go to church now. Everybody want to go to church now, but the answers is not in the church houses, man. All right, it's full of lies and deceit. They're not gonna tell you the truth, man. They may speak about a few things, because they hear it on the news, but they're not giving you the rivers of living water, man. They're not preparing you for what's happening, man. They're not giving you the totality of the fear of the Lord, man, the day of the Lord. Okay? So let me see. think that's right. Salakia. Right. So, hey man, this is what's going on right now. Okay. So if the ground offense is launched, okay, then they're going to intervene, man. But I also seen an article that said that they gonna hold off on the attack, man. However, whatever come first, man, we're gonna wait and see whatever however's gonna happen. But one thing's for sure and two things for certain: it will be World War III, and the MOTB and prophecy is rolling, man. You know, so the MOTB is soon to come. It's right around the corner, man. So with that, Lord willing, you'll edify.